Guess who's back with another one? Back to back. Hey, hey, back to back. I know I'm butchering that song, but like, you know, Drake is on my mind. I see you guys see me wearing the same shirt, and we're playing no games out here in these Love Island review streets, man. We're keeping it coming, keeping it fresh, keeping it 100. So, where we had left off in the other review, actually in episode 10, was Ariel Vandenberg walking in the villa and making the announcement that one couple is going to get dumped off the island and that the safe islanders were to vote people off. So it was really, for me, I was really tense if I could say who I wanted to be voted off. Honestly, it was a toss-up between Kirsten and Carrington and Connor and Mackenzie. I just don't feel like, I mean, Kirsten and Carrington had broken up. Do they really need to be there? And they're not really like making connections with other people. Connor and Mackenzie are even worse. In my opinion, I feel like there's just been up and down, back and forth, like talking behind her back. Connor was about to break up with Mackenzie. Let's just be serious. So the people who had plans to break up or had already broken up, in my opinion, are the ones who need to go. So I obviously, those are the people that I think in my mind I would choose to vote out. So after deliberation, they come together and they vote out. Actually, not vote out. They first had to choose someone to save. So I think they should have saved, if I were in their opinion and I had a unanimous vote, if it was in my power, I would choose to save Lauren and Trey. So they ended up choosing Connor and Mackenzie, and I was like, seriously, guys? Like, seriously? And the reason they gave is that they showed perseverance, an effort to change for one another, a willingness to compromise and work to a better future. Maybe this is true, but who's tired of seeing Connor and Mackenzie on screen? I think they would fare much better off screen, just in my opinion. Anywho, so after that, of course, there are two couples on the chopping block. So, but then now there was a twist that was added. Now they were instructed to offer two people lifelines and give them a second chance to join in, but they wouldn't be voted in as a couple but as individuals. So the girls would vote for the boys they'd want to save, and the boys would want to vote for the girls they'd want to save. And like I said, I wanted Lauren and Trey, but this sadly didn't happen, and the girls voted in Carrington. And I'm just like, what? And the boys voted in Kirsten. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't too pressed, but I was like, what? What? Like, qu'est-ce qu'elle est? Doot! So, at this point, there are 5 couples left. Broken up couple, Carrington and Kirsten were saved. Calvin and Moira, Connor and Mackenzie, Caleb and Justine, and Johnny and Sally. The exits were uber dramatic, only from one person. Lauren was like uber dramatic, and she was like, listen, I guess I should have kept it, if I wanted to say, I guess I should have kept it fake. Like, some of you guys in this villa are just in fake relationships, and you're acting one way towards like each other and a different way behind people's back. And like Mackenzie was like, Loki, she knew that was targeted at her, but then she was just like, better you than me, chick. And then like she just like ranted and raved, and she was like, you guys have been nothing but honest with you, but then I guess you just like being fake, and that's how I should have been in it. So basically she just called everybody fake. And was she wrong? No, she wasn't wrong. She was 100% honest. She kept it 100% real. Carrington and Kirsten, as we have seen, Carrington, uber fake. Connor and Mackenzie, okay, Connor didn't Connor, I don't want to call him fake, but I'm gonna call him fake in this situation because he hasn't told Mackenzie. He's scared to death of Mackenzie. And Carrington is just like a coward, basically, in my opinion. And I don't mean to say it in a bad way. I just get heated. I feel a type of way when guys don't tell chicks how they really feel and make a chick go crazy. So that's why I'm calling him a coward. Where was I? Sorry, I was all up in my head. Trey kept it cool, calm, collected. He was very humble, and I'm really going to miss seeing those two. I'm really gonna miss Trey. You guys know I had one opinion of him, and then he completely changed my preconceived notions of him, and it's really sad to see him go. And I know so many of the Islanders felt his absence because after they left they're like, oh my gosh, is it just us, and then they were like, yeah, those guys had such a big personalities that now that they've left it feels like there's a void. And I'm like, yeah, precisely, those are the people who are keeping things like, going. So what's good? Either people are going to get annoyed with the people that they chose, or the viewers are going to get annoyed. So interesting to see. In my personal opinion, I think they made safe choices. Kirsten and Carrington should have left. That's just my personal opinion. And this has been the second time really that Mackenzie and Connor have been put on the chopping block or have been tested. So are they really, really, really compatible? And compatibility doesn't mean having disagreements, having differences. It's like, how do you overcome it? How do you communicate it? How do you address things? How do you resolve those things? And those guys haven't been resolving things well. Of course, I think Mackenzie has been compromising a lot. Connor has been slowly coming into the man he's supposed to be. But then, honestly, as of yet, I can't say that they're compatible. Can they grow to be? That's a whole other question. Do I want to watch them grow to be compatible? No. Sorry, not sorry. I think he is still downplaying the conversations he's been having with the boys and the conversation he's had with Lauren. And unfortunately, Mackenzie's the one who is receiving the brunt of it. It's not really fair. But whatever. Whew. So after that whole dramatic dumping, everyone's kind of like reassuring each other, but then we zero in. I'm mostly going to zero in on Justine and Caleb. I'm really, really feeling them. I like the vibes that they give. Oh my days. And they're just laying up, and then magically they shared their first on-screen kiss that was outside a challenge. And I'm like, yes, give me that, give me that bass, give me that, give me that bass, like low. And then he was like, I mean, Justin was like, it's those lips for me, and he was like, that's that chocolate. Team melanin all day, team melanin all day. That's that chocolate. So the next day, Moira. Why is it that the people who I chose to ride or die with in the beginning are letting me down? Moira is just like boring me. Let me just be honest. I love the girl, but she boring. Moira and Calvin, they are an absolute cute couple, but they bore me. However, she was having a conversation, a chit chat with Mackenzie, talking about how, she and Calvin had a make-out sesh, and it was like hot. And then after that, now Moira and Calvin were talking about their make-out session, and they're like, oh yeah, let the record show that we had a kiss. And I'm like, alright, recorded, but nothing earth-shattering here. Shortly after, Calvin gets a text telling them that there's going to be a tie the knot challenge. So they're all dressed up in like mini tuxes and mini wedding dresses, and then they're shackled to each other basically, and they're supposed to navigate through a threaded obstacle course, and then at the with a bouquet, and then at the end they're supposed to put it in a vase. So whoever does it in the fastest time wins. So there were two couples that tied, and that was Johnny and Sally and Justine and Caleb. Yes, y'all are right notes. So to break the tie, they had to do another challenge where they had to like smash their faces through cake and then like grab 5 rings, and whoever would do it in the fastest time would be the winner. And that was Johnny and Sally. I'm gonna say something, okay? I was like, Sally is such a girly girl. I don't think she's about it. And before I also thought Johnny wasn't like that guy, but I'm glad that they threw my stereotypes out the window because they brought it. Like, they weren't afraid, and I love people who aren't afraid to get messy, especially if they like to get like snatched and groomed up and get their face beat. I love it. I love it, and I'm here for it. So after that challenge, everyone is having like talks. Like, the girls first have their talks and the boys have their talks about love and marriage and family and expectations and timelines and everything. And yeah, we're not gonna cover all that, but I will say that there were some gems that were there. If you want to know what they talked about, make sure you check it out. Whew. So after they have like their individual like gender group talks, they have like couple talks about the same issues, and everyone else is asking each other like, oh, how are we, what do you think about marriage, how do you think about like love, relationships, engagement, blah blah blah. And I really loved Caleb's answer. How he was talking about how he, like, you know, he really wants to be a good dad, he wants to be a good like husband, and it's about having a good marriage, not necessarily having like a baller wedding. But it was just like fun, flirty, and I loved it. I really, really loved it. But then, man, these guys, I'm just like, just go home. Like, please go home, Connor and Mackenzie. Because, like, they had their conversation. And then after that, like, Mackenzie's just like, she didn't get the response that she wanted from Connor, because she's just like, I'm 24, yes, that would be something that I would want to do, and I'd like to have settled down and have kids by the time I'm 30. And Connor was like, do that, but that, and she's just like, this dude is he's just like, he's not serious. She feels like he's losing interest, and she deserves better. And she's having second thoughts after the talk, because she's just like, and I think this is something that all chicks feel if they're into a guy. We have already planned our wedding, we have planned the number of kids that we have with them, and we have named them already. So it's a real letdown when a guy isn't on the same page, or he's not as enthusiastic about that as you are. And I can't fault her there, because I can totally relate. But what I am tired of is the back and forth and back and forth. And at this point, I feel like if I'm going to do future reviews, I'm not gonna talk about them too, unless it's like something positive, because like my mind's tired, my tongue's tired, like we all tired. So it's either you switch up or you go home. Whew. Another annoying couple, number 2. Okay, 3. Kirsten and Carrington. I don't know who annoys me more. I think Carrington still annoys me more. When they sit down to talk, he's just like, Kirsten is like, so how was your day? And then Carrington is like, your opening lines are always trash. And I'm just like, okay, let's do the Viola Davis, like, you know, epic, like, grab the bag and walk out the sitch. But then she's like, oh my gosh, you're such a douchebag. Like, Walk it like you talk it, girl. Walk it like you talk it. Hey, walk it like you talk it. Walk it like you talk it. Why you still sitting down talking with him? Why you still sitting down talking with him? So I'm not about it. So then he's like, oh yeah, I'm just kidding. And then they talk about how they're still interested in each other, how they're still attracted to each other, how they still care about each other, blah, 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 blah. How you can't just switch off feelings like blah, blah, blah. Chick, he was about to break up with you. He was plotting. And then on top of that, you pulled him aside and gave him the opportunity to break up with you. And then you're like, I can't switch feelings off. Like, girl, bye. Bye, Felicia. I'm tired. I am so tired though. I am tired. Anywho, how the episode ended was like, there was a teaser after they had all turned the lights down low and gone to bed, and everyone was kind of like smooching and cuddling and everything. How everything was about to make a turn for the worst. How the producers were going to make waves as they introduced 5 new boys and 5 new girls and separated the couples into gender groups and took them to a secret villa. Welcome, Casaramo! So, next episode is going to be super, super, super exciting because everyone that knows me and everyone who knows that I watch Love Island knows that I love Casa Amor. Bring it on more. Question. This is so embarrassing, especially after that. Okay. Question. Do you guys think that Lauren was right, that everyone was fake in that villa? Do you think everybody in a Love Island is in a good place? Is Kirsten still into Carrington? Like no duh. Is Carrington still into Kirsten? Like no duh. And you guys, I don't know if this is the Kenyan in me, if this is the African in me, but like I see towels and like masks and all that stuff, of course provided by the Cromwell and the producers and whatever. But like, do you think the contestants can take those towels and the freebies from the villa once they leave? Another question that follows up to that one. Would you take those towels and the freebies? Alright, that's it from me today. It has been fun. My tongue is tired. I have cotton mouth, but it has been an absolute joy having you guys stick to this very, very, very second of the video. Thank you so much. That's it from me today, and until next time, peace. Stay safe.